Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Newell. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the latest and greatest from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. Today's no different. Today we're back to talk about Sutton Strack from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But before we do, I just wanted to say that I heard you guys. I've read the comments and you guys have been like, switch up that intro. It's too long. And there were other opinions, but honestly, I just want to make this the go-to channel. So I appreciate the hell out of you guys. I did switch up the intro, so here it goes.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Now, guys, as we jump right back into it, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell. But again, we're back to talk about Sutton Strack from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Sutton finally reveals to an Entertainment Tonight host why she started to get a little uncomfortable with Erika Girardi, what was going through her mind, and why she started to, as she says, tilt her head a little bit at the situation. If you guys saw last week's episode, it was interesting because Sutton called a meeting with all of the women and she wanted it to be an Erika-less meeting. She wanted to let the women know, okay, I have some questions here. Things are starting to not necessarily make sense. And I feel like I'm seeing a few red flags. So I want to let you women know that I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable and I want to kind of disassociate myself as of right now when it comes to Erika. She feels like all of the legal stuff coming out with Erika, it was huge and it's very problematic. And yeah, I can agree with that. And she also said, you know, every single day there's something new. So at this point, she doesn't know what to believe and she doesn't know what Erika necessarily knew or did not know. So for that, she made the conscious choice to kind of take a step back, reevaluate that friendship, because mind you, this is still a very new friendship. This is what was said. When Sutton said, I'm not sure I want to be around Erika at this time, she looks back at that moment and she says, okay, that looks harsh, doesn't it? However, why she said that was because she said, we're starting to get more and more news about what's going on with Tom Girardi, obviously hearing about the Boeing plane crash victims, the alleged embezzlement, the $20 million plus transferred to Erika Girardi's account. And she was kind of saying, as it was coming out, I was getting more and more uncomfortable legally speaking. So that was just my feeling. Sutton also said it takes me sometimes days, maybe even weeks before I can start to actually speak on something. She noted back to the time that they were at Crystal Kung Minkoff's house and she said, you know, we were sitting there making dumplings and I made it clear to the women that trust is really important for me. And with that, it's important in every relationship, not just, you know, her relationship that's personal, like with a man, also with her friends, her girlfriends, all across the board. It's important to her. And I think that that's, you know, that's true. I believe the same thing. But for Sutton, she was also explaining the fact that, you know, her and Erika were starting to build this relationship. They were starting to get to know each other a little bit better. We saw where they went to, I think it's called Cairo or something like that, where you freeze your body, whatever the case is. It seemed like they were building this relationship. And then when all of this started to come out, she said, I started to tilt my head just a little bit. Now, she definitely wants to believe Erika in this moment. However, LA Times, that's a huge article that came out, and it is the LA Times at the end of the day. So she said, I didn't read it just once, not twice, but I read it 3 times. So I started to put things together for me. And she feels like, you know, I have a fresh perspective on this because I haven't known Erika as long as some of the other women. So she feels like she really has fresh eyes on the whole situation. And for her, she said, with the LA Times article, I don't think it's not going well. You know, we also see that there's a scene coming up where Erika starts to find out that Sutton has been questioning what she may or may not know. And even the women asked her when she called the meeting, is this something that you would tell to Erika's face? And Sutton stood, you know, in her truth. And she's like, yes, absolutely. I would tell Erika exactly how I'm feeling. Well, we know that there's an upcoming scene where Erika looks at her and she says, don't ever call me a liar again. And then she's like, Erika. And, you know, Erika looks at her and she's like, what are you going to do about it? Nothing? Exactly. Then shut up. Go. I can't wait for that moment because I've said it so many times and I'm just waiting to see what actually happens. But it looks like it's going to be jaw-dropping. However, for Sutton, she explained, you know, you think it looks bad on camera. It was much worse in person. This is also where we get Erika threatening Sutton. And she says, if you ever call me a liar again, I'm going to come for you. And for Sutton, again, she took that as a threat. Now, some of the other women dismissed it and were kind of like, that's not really a threat. Are you really worried about Erika? What is she going to do to you? But at the end of the day, telling somebody I will come for you, yeah, that's a little scary because you don't know, are they going to come for you through somebody else, a third party? And I'm not saying Erika would do that, but you just don't know what that means. Is somebody else going to catch you off guard? And, you know, could they potentially harm your well-being? Are they going to harm your house? You don't know. So if somebody threatens you, you kind of don't take it lightly. At least I wouldn't. And for Sutton, she didn't. So I think that's fair. Now, again, I can't wait to see when that comes out, but also Sutton addressed the Crystal Kung Minkoff back and forth feud that felt like it took forever. When Crystal said that she's jealous, Sutton didn't necessarily understand where that was coming from. She's like, jealous of what? Your ugly leather pants? Well, some fans might have thought that, you know, Sutton was jealous because Crystal Kung Minkoff was originally supposed to be brought on as a friend of the show. And on Sutton's first season, she was brought on as a friend. And for Crystal, that wasn't necessarily the case. She was promoted to a full-time housewife. She got her diamond, and fans were speculating, maybe is that why you're jealous? But Sutton did say something in this interview that I don't know if I'm completely on board with. She explained, you know, when I did my first season, I wanted to come on as a friend of. I wanted to because I really wanted to get to know the women a little bit. And when Crystal came on, we obviously knew that there was a new castmate. I didn't have any ill feelings towards her. I was excited, ready to welcome her in, and I wanted to get to know her. The only thing that I have to say about this is when we did our interview, she explained that she thought that she was going to be a full-time diamond holder on her first season. But since she wasn't able to film with her kids, Bravo kind of retracted that. And they were like, we're going to make you a friend of. We still think you're great, but you can't necessarily be a full-time housewife if you don't, or if you're not allowed to film with the kids. And her husband was not letting that fly. So in that moment, she really did have no choice but to become a friend of. So for her saying, you know, I wanted to come on as a friend of the first season and get to know the women, I don't know, I'm just not buying it. All right, guys. So with that, I'm curious what you think. What do you think about Sutton finally speaking out in this interview to Entertainment Tonight? How do you feel about her letting us know that it was much worse in person, the threat, as opposed to watching it on camera, even though we still haven't had the chance to watch it yet? We've only seen a small clip. And what do you think about her wanting to distance herself? Again, for me, I can't say that I blame her. Things are coming out every single day. And while I think that you should be there as a friend for someone, she feels in her mind, I think that Erika is all over the board with what she's giving them as far as information. And maybe some of those statements might be inconsistent. Maybe they're not, but maybe they are. And what if, honestly, that's the big question. What if they are? Guys, I've asked you the questions to which I need all of the answers. So if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, comment below, answer the questions, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. This is the most Florida shirt that you're ever going to see me in, but Jason's brother is in town visiting. So after this, we're going to go snorkeling. Sorry, guys, I'm not in my normal black attire, but it's 8 a.m. over here and I'm trying to get these videos in. That way I can go snorkeling and you guys know the rest. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for watching and I hope you enjoyed the new intro. Comment below on that as well. Bye, guys.